What's up, guys? It's Tyler from House of Cards TCG, and we are fresh from the YCS. And in the middle of the YCS, a ban list dropped, and it was actually kind of crazy. It was during a round. You got out of the round, and you found out that a ban list dropped. It was actually the craziest thing that I've ever seen in Yu-Gi-Oh, right? But Shane and I got to talk a little bit about what we think that is going to be happening next format. And YCS was incredible. Shane did extremely well. He got top 75. He just missed top cut. He went X3. His tiebreakers prevented him from being able to get into the top cut, which was 64. So he missed it by 11 spots, but he did a phenomenal job. If you haven't checked his deck profile out, I'll go ahead and link it right here, so that you can go ahead and check out his Furniture Labyrinth build that him and Ryan Yu were able to put together. He did a phenomenal job. I just want to give him the shout out that he deserves, because he worked hard and he wanted to do well for everybody, obviously. So he gets mad shout outs for that. It was great seeing everybody. It was a phenomenal experience. We thoroughly enjoyed just seeing everybody and having a great time. I obviously played Dragons and we did really well. Our 3 losses came to Kashtira, unfortunately. So the deck's still going to be really good next format with Kashtira being checked. But here, we're talking about the cards that I think that you should pick up for the next format. Like I said, Shane and I kind of brainstormed a little bit about what we think is going to be pretty big for next format. And I think that we're going to get into a format that was almost before tier limits, which was, you're not going to see the 14 hand traps like you do see now. That it's almost like a 60 card based deck where you have to have all these hand traps to stop that deck, or like when Prank Kids Adventure was a thing. I don't think that we're in that format where you need to play all these hand traps anymore, and I do think that board breakers will be coming back. So with all that, we're gonna dive in to the cards that I think you should pick up next format. And with all that, I just want to say this is the first video since it's happened, but thank you all. We are at 3,000 subscribers and we're ecstatic for it. We can't believe that it actually happened. It's been a long journey getting to 1,000 and 2,000, now to 3,000 subscribers. We really appreciate all the support, and it really means a lot to all of us. So thank you. This is the first video since 3,000 subscribers. So truly appreciate it. We've been able to increase our editing and try to do more for you and put out better content for you. So again, thank you so much for all the support. But with all that being said, let's dive into the cards that I think that you should pick up for the next format.
House of Cards
TCG.
All right, let's go ahead and dive on into the cards that I think that you should pick up for the next format. This first one's going to be fairly obvious, but I think it's something that we should note. And the first card is going to be Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning Ash Blossom is because Ash Blossom was a huge staple card that everybody played 3 in the main deck and you never sided out. So you have to think about something. For the last, 3 months or so, or maybe even longer, Ash Blossom has become one of those cards that may be a staple or maybe even a side deck card. So a lot of people have been in this weird position with Ash Blossom, but Ash Blossom is actually an insane card. Now, with Gamma being out of the format, because now Gamma is limited to 1, Ash Blossom becomes a much better card. And the reason why is when somebody activates Pot of Desires or Pot of Prosperity and they shotgun that, you can, with no fear, go ahead and Ash Blossom and get rid of it. I think that Ash Blossom is definitely going to be a main deck staple, and that's going to be 3 of them that are going to be in your main deck. So you could see a rise in Ash Blossoms. If you wanted to get the Prismatic Secret Rare, the reprints, right now you could get them for about $9. If those things were to get bought up because more people started seeing 3 Ash in every single deck where you have to play 3, you're not even siding it out, you could see this card go up. So I would suggest, if you do not have your Ash Blossoms, to go ahead and get it. It's a pretty obvious one, but especially with Brandon going unchecked, Expulsion being hit, but who cares, right? So Brandon being unchecked, you're going to want 3 Ash Blossoms in every single deck, every single main deck. So make sure to get your Secret Rare Ash Blossoms if you haven't yet. Now the next card is a card that a lot of people are talking about, and that is Forbidden Droplet. I do think that Forbidden Droplet will be a main deck staple. You will put it in your main deck. It's going to come back. Kashtira being hit, even though it's playable, you're just going to see Droplet come back. Droplet was a crazy card. Being able to send, being able to activate something like, for example, you can activate Chaos Space. I'm a Dragon player, right? You can activate Chaos Space, chain Droplet, send that Chaos Space and another card in your hand, and your opponent cannot respond with monsters or spells. It's just a broken card, and you can negate 2 monsters on the field. It's a broken card, and it halves the attack. Let's not forget that. And we've seen a huge decline. You have to remember something. When Droplet came out, this card was an $80 to $100 card. Now, I do know that it does have 2 reprints, 3 if you include the Ultimate reprint, right? So Droplet has been reprinted, but I think it's a card that right now, I'm pulling up the Rise of the Duelist. You could pick up Droplets right now for about $25. We're going to see this card go up, and we're going to see it obviously increase in price. Droplet is going to be insane. I think you're going to see a lot of people that will be main decking droplets, and it's going to be a 3 of in a lot of decks. If you are going up against something like Cash Tira, then you would just side it out simply. But the thing is that with cash going down, you're going to see less cash. You're going to see more droplets. And I think that droplets is a great pick right now. If you've never had droplets or they're way too expensive because they're in the $80 to $90 price range, definitely grab yourself a playset. Go ahead and flex with those cards because this card is going to be insane and it's going to be very impactful into the next format. Now, another card, when we're talking about spells, is going to be Called By. Called By is already seeing an increase. We've seen this card almost, go up in price by quite a bit, by about 25%. And I think that Called By is going to be definitely a side deck card that everybody's going to play. Possibly a main deck, but for sure a side deck card. With Shifter still being around, people are going to want to play Called By. So if you want to get that Prismatic Secret Rare, right now you're looking at about $11. I think it's a really good price for a one of. And here's the thing, if Called By were to ever come back to 2, which it definitely possibly could, then if Shifter becomes a problem, you could see Called By maybe coming back to 2, maybe even 3. I think that buying a playset of Called By and sitting on it at $11 a piece is not a bad buy. I don't ever foresee a reprint coming in a secret rare again. It's possible, but buying a Called By right now could be a really good pick, and you're probably going to utilize it in the side deck right now. Now, there is one more spell I want to talk about, but we're going to go into some more traps that I think are going to be really important. The first one is going to be Anti-Spell. So if you want to buy the secret rare, the only print of Anti-Spell secret rares right now, you could get them for less than $18. I think that's a really good buy for Anti-Spell. When Sky Striker is a problem, then you're going to see Anti-Spell because they cannot play under Anti-Spell. And when you think about the cards like Dark Ruler No More, you talk about board breakers, right? You're going to want Anti-Spell against these board breakers because I think we're going to get away from the hand trap format and we're going to go back into a board breaker format. You're going to see more droplets. You're going to see more Dark Ruler. You're going to see Evenlies. You're going to see cards like that. So Anti-Spell is going to be really impactful, especially if we see an increase to Sky Striker. Now, I am not a Sky Striker player, but I have played my fair share against Sky Striker, and I do know that having 3 multi-roll is a problem on top of having Engage at 2. So I think we're going to see this huge resurgence of Sky Striker, and I think it's really important that we right now side Anti-Spell, and you're going to see this emergence also of combo decks as well. So with all that being said, I think that having Anti-Spell against these combo decks against Sky Striker is going to be really imperative, and Gold P.u.n.k Gold Pride is becoming really popular, and so yeah, Anti-Spell is going to be pretty impactful in the next upcoming format, and being able to buy those secrets right now for less than $20 each is a really good buy, so I would definitely hop on those. And then another card is going to be Dimensional Barrier. So I pulled up the latest secret rare version. This card was a absolutely broken card, and at its peak over the last year, this card has seen almost a $15 price range, and right now you could pick these up for $7. Yes, so you can get secret rare Dimensional Barriers for $7. Definitely, I would say pick up a playset of these. You're going to be able to stop Sword Soul, which I think is going to see a huge resurgence in the next meta, and with the Denlong coming out, and then they have the Ring of Worm, you're going to see a big pop coming from Sword Soul. You're going to see a huge pop also coming from Synchro decks and from Branded Fusion and all these different, the branded cards, obviously. So Branded is going to become very popular, especially if people are off these hand traps. And you're going to see, that deck come out. The XYZs, even though Pearly's still going to be around, with Delicious at 1, it's getting new support. So people are going to be on Pearly. So being able to flip Dimensional Barrier on them is going to be pretty good. So you could kind of take your pick, whether you want to have Dimensional Barrier or Anti-Spell. I think they're both really good. It's just a matter of what your deck kind of loses to or what you want to face more. So I think that Dimensional Barrier right now, as less than an $8 card for a secret rare, being able to pick up a playset of those is going to be really good. And I think that you should keep your eye on that and grab yourself a playset if you do not have them. And then a monster card that everybody kind of talks about and they've been talking about. I actually played 2 of these in the YCS in my side deck, and that is Phantasme. Right now, this card is actually getting out of control. It's seeing a resurgence. It's at $25. You could have picked that card up for less than $20, but it's still at $25. I do think that this card is broken, especially coming into Sky Striker format where they're going to see more links. You're going to have what I think is going to be really good decks, which are going to be Sky Striker. You're going to have Dragon Link, and you're going to have other cards that still provide links like Sprite. Sprite still links off. You're going to want to see your board breakers. You're going to want to be able to play against these decks. So I think Phantasme is going to make a huge resurgence. You should definitely grab yours. I did grab my playset before the YCS, and I did run 2 Phantasme in the side deck, but I still think that you should grab your Phantasmes. You do not want to get caught without a hand trap or without some way to deal with Sky Striker. So I do think that that's really important for you to grab. And another kind of monsters that we want to talk about are going to be Bystials. I think that Bystials are broken. Magna, he went untouched. So he's still at 3. Search any dragon. And the Bystials are really good. That, you know, we saw a lot of the YCS decks right now citing Bystials for decks. But the thing is that Bystials were not good against Cash or Super Heavy, right? Super Heavy and Cash both just got major hits to them, and people were already citing Bystials, and those Bystials don't do anything against those 2 decks. So now that both those 2 decks are checked, you're going to see a huge resurgence into Bystials, and I think that you should definitely grab at least your 3 Magna, 1 Druid, maybe even 1 Baldrake if you can. I have obviously playset of each one of them because I play dragons, but Bystials are going to be very important. We're already seeing them in side decks, so if you do not have your Bystials, make sure to get them because they're not going anywhere, and they're definitely going to be in the side deck, if not in main deck, because it just hits so many decks. And I want you to really think about this, right? So it's competitive against Dragon Link. It's really competitive against Branded. It's really competitive, really good against Furniture Labyrinth because you can hit the furniture pieces out of the graveyard. And it's also really good against Sky Striker. So when you think about the top decks that are going to be coming into this format, it hits all those. So Bystials are going to be a card that you want to get your playset of, and make sure you have them, because those cards you could actually see if they don't get reprinted in the Megaton, which they possibly could, but you want to have them for the next upcoming format for sure. And then the last card that I want to talk about that I think is really important that you guys may not have been thinking about, but that card is Twin Twisters. So we've been kind of on this Cosmic Cyclone fix right now where everybody's been playing Cosmic because you can out the Runic field spell, but that Runic kind of got a hit with that Sacred Tree. Again, you probably are still going to see Runic around because they only played 2 field spell anyway. So being able to Cosmic the Runic field spells is great, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that Runic is as great of a deck anymore. Because Nat Runic was really the best way to play that deck, right? You can obviously play it with Sprite, and there's other ways to play it, and I understand that. But basically, the 2 field spells aren't really that much to worry about. But what is important is Twin Twisters. So now, right now, we don't have to worry about Destruction and Runic and all that, so you can hit a couple Sky Striker spells out of there. It's still good against Fluwundereeze, which I think is going to be an insane card. I think Fluwundereeze is going to be broken because they have Harpy Featherstorm, and they also have the Dimensional Shifter, both at 3, so they're still going to be really good. And Twin Twisters was obviously really good into that because you can because their trap has to activate in the main phase, so being able to knock the field spell and the trap out and hit 2 for 1 is really good. So right now, Twin Twisters you could pick up for about $4 for a secret. I think if you don't have your playset of secret Twin Twisters, you should definitely consider buying these because Twin Twisters is going to be an insane card going into the next format. And I think we may see us get away from Cosmic Cyclone, and we could see us get into Twin Twisters, especially if Lancia becomes more popular. So with all that, guys, these are cards that I think that you should pick up for the next format. If there's any card that I missed or that you think that we should be picking up, please comment it down below. As always, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you helping us get over 3,000. And this has been Tyler with House of Cards TCG, signing out.
House of Cards.
TCG.